Hey everybody, welcome to the Behind the Brick podcast. We're here today with none other than Crisis Studios. How's it going today, Crisis?
Oh, it's going good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right.
That's awesome.
CJ, do you want to start?
Yeah, I might as well. Hi, Crisis.
Hi.
Alright, might as well start with the questions. What happened with Peter B as Batman in season 1 of your Justice League series?
Oh, like you mean the voice actor?
Yeah, how come he was recasted?
Oh, he's just he's a family friend, and I found someone better, and I just replaced him.
Here's something a little more recent. Is there any specific release date for your Green Lantern project yet?
Oh man, there really isn't right now, just because of everything's going on. I'm almost graduated from high school, so it's really I want to aim for sometime in May, but realistically, it's probably June. I'm working with Airborne Productions to kind of release both of our Green Lantern videos on the same day. Call it like HAL Day. Yeah, that's all I have.
What was the longest project that you've ever worked on?
Longest? It's got to be the season 2 finale. I started filming that in March of 23, and then I didn't wrap it until September, but then the editing process took longer than I wanted it to.
Harry, do you have anything to ask?
Yeah. How's it going, Crosses? Are you going to continue your Lego Mandalorian series?
Oh, man. Dude, I haven't thought about Lego Mandalorian in a very long time. It was just a phase when, I think it was when Book of Boba Fett was coming out, and Mando returned for those few episodes, and I was like, oh, man, that's really cool. And then my birthday was around that time, so I just ended up getting just like 3 or 4 sets with the characters that I needed, and I filmed it all in time for Brick Film Day, and, the rest is history. If I do end up having the time to do it, I'll do it someday. But as of right now, there's not even like a part 2 written.
How long did it take to get everyone on board for the cameos for the Forgotten Bloodlines finale?
Oh, how long did it take? I'm just trying to think of when I wanted to do the crossovers, because originally there was no multiverse aspect to it. It was just going to be that might just messing around, and then they put a stop to it. But I was like, there's no sauce here. And then I think it had to have been like May of 22 when I finally switched over to the multiverse idea. And then, because I remember I got footage from some of the people's cameos like that summer. So, some of those cameos you saw was footage from like a year and a half ago. That's how long it's been in the oven.
Wow.
But yeah, over that time, it was just asking people. The most recent person I had to ask to convince was Forest Fire, because he was like, the final straw to get on.
That was pretty crazy seeing Forest Fire in that video. That was awesome.
Yeah, how did you persuade him?
Money's a magical tool. No, I met him through Nathaniel Henley, because those two are pretty good friends, and Nathaniel and I talk. Then we just, stuff happened, and I brought it up, and we negotiated. He got it done. Like a 3-day transaction. It was really, really smooth, actually. I'm glad that he got to do it. I had asked Edbound and Lincoln Pop if they wanted to do it, and they were both on board, but Lincoln Pop obviously got taken up filming his stuff, and Edbound wasn't sure if he could meet the deadline, but he could have, because of how many times I delayed it. But either way, we got the cream of the crop, and that was enough for me.
What inspired you to create your Justice League series?
I think the lack of Justice League videos there were online. I always loved watching Justice League videos forever and ever, and I'm just like, I want to put characters in videos that no one has really spotlighted before, like the Atom and Hawkman. And I was like, we're going to do like a Brave and Bold type thing where every episode is just a different assortment of characters that follow like a big story with the Legion of Doom. And it gave me so many people to work with. And so, yeah, that was the inspiration, just to do what like no one had really done prior.
Interesting. Here's another question. Why did you recast Flash with Fine Line? Like, how come Flash was recasted with someone else?
Same reason as Batman. I find someone that I think fits it better. There's really no like bad blood with it. I was like, hey, this person sounds better. I think I'll just, I'm not really good with continuity in my stuff. There's a bunch of holes in it that you can find. It's really just a whack job if you go through it all. I guess the season took like 3 years, almost 3 years to make. And just over time, we just become different people, different stuff happens. So that's why. I was just more in touch with Fine Line.
All right. Who is your favorite animator and why?
Favorite animator? I don't have like a set answer. It's really like who am I in the mood for at the time? But I gotta say, I got two people in mind. My good buddy J Red. I think it's always the lengths he takes to, the lengths he goes to when filming his videos. Like in episode 5 of Dissonance, the newsroom scene, where it's like a one shot the entire time. The camera never cuts. It's like 5 minutes of just straight animation, and it took him so long to make. And that's inspiring to do new things, to push myself. Because what this Green Lantern video is the definition of going out of my comfort zone, in terms of just like stuff I've done in videos. I'm working on this one bit where Hal's flying through space, and so I have this blue screen, and it's just not stuff I've done before, and that's what's taking so long, in addition to school. So yeah, he inspires me to keep going. And then my other person is got to be Gravity Films 4. I just think his combat style and his movements are very fluid. I definitely made Green Lantern look a lot more like his videos in terms of the way it's shot and some of the action. I'll have to go with those two.
All right.
Crisis, do you have any words of advice for people who are new to brick filming?
I don't really have much advice in terms of like what to film or like how to become better, because that's really just a experience thing. The more you do it, the more tricks you'll just pick up naturally. In terms of writing videos, if you are, a series maker and you want to have videos that connect to each other, always make it for yourself. Don't really feel like you need to do like origin videos. Say like you're doing, well, I guess I'm kind of hypocritical when doing a Green Lantern origin, but just like if you have a story you really want to tell, don't take the stepping stones to get there if you don't think it's necessary. Because if people watch your videos, they're probably as well in knowledge, like as much as you are. They probably know as much about Green Lantern as you do, which is not a lot of people. So yeah.
CJ, do you have any questions to ask?
Yeah, I actually have one. How was the mates created?
The mates. It's just it was late 2020, and Bud's Lego Films was working on his ambivalence video at the time, and he just, I think him and Toonski Animations found my stuff before I found them, and I was very, very new at the time. I didn't even have like 100 subscribers yet, and he asked me to be Alfred for some reason. I don't think I'm that good of an Alfred voice actor. But I accepted. I eventually moved my way up to Batman as we got to know each other more. But the three of us really just, we worked well together. We were really good friends at the time. There was another guy, but he left later. And then we put Jay in his spot. And so it was really the four of us for a while. And that was the group, those who talked a bunch. We started a server because we just wanted our other friends to be involved. Then the rest is history.
Is the reason probably Josh got recast as Jason in season 2 the same for the other voice actors?
Yeah. No, Josh and I, we've become very good friends as of recent, and I just felt, we were always reading scripts with each other all the time. And once I heard him as Jason, just, for funsies one time, I was like, oh my God, he's the best Jason voice actor you could get. Me as Dick and him as Jason I think that's probably my favorite part of the entirety of season 2.
Yeah, he is a pretty good Red Hood voice.
For sure.
All right, now this one's not very related to break filming, but what's your favorite video game?
Video?
Yeah.
It's got, Arkham City. You know what I mean? There's so much that Arkham City just brings me back to. I've played it since I was 5. And it's such a comfort video game for me. I think if I ever do a more Batman-centric video sometime, if I can, I think I'll definitely have a lot more Arkham City inspiration when it comes to it. I love the theme of the aesthetic of just the entire game.
All right. Who's your favorite Marvel character?
Although I don't know a lot about him, I've always liked it when I've seen Nova around. Actually, I was gonna make a Nova video for a bit.
Really?
A few years ago, yeah. Between seasons 1 and 2, I was gonna do a Nova. But I'm not that much of a Marvel writer. I can't tell you. I just can't write for Marvel characters. I don't understand them the way I understand DC characters. So yeah, but it'd have to be Nova. I just think he looks cool. I've always just liked his powers and his helmet for sure. I think I still have the figure on.
What's your opinion on Nova from the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show, if you've seen that?
That's probably what got me into him, if I'm being honest. I grew up with the Ultimate Spider-Man. Spectacular Spider-Man takes the cake, but
It's spectacular.
Yeah, okay. No, Ultimate Spider-Man. It really, the team dynamic that they had with Iron Fist and Luke Cage and what was it, White Tiger?
Yeah.
I just think that was the peak of that show. Once they stopped being in it, that's when I kind of fell off. They were doing all that Web Warrior stuff.
I think it was because they wanted more Spider-Man related characters in there.
Probably. I'm not in the writer's room.
How often are you asked to play Nightwing for people, and how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about it? Oh man, I love being typecasted as Nightwing. He's my favorite character ever of all time. And so to just kind of be recognized as the Nightwing guy, it definitely pushes my ego up. But I love to do it. How frequently? Oh man, I can't give specifics, but I feel like within the past 2 months, I've definitely voiced Nightwing 5 times, for different people. But it's always a pleasure.
CJ, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I have another question. What's your favorite DC supervillain?
Ooh, favorite DC supervillain. That's a really good one, actually. If it's not going to be one of Batman's rogues, which I know the most about, I think I've always liked Black Manta. I just don't know a lot about him, but I've always liked the way he looks and the energy he's carried. Actually, I take that back. It's Brainiac. I love Brainiac. He's definitely underutilized in the Superman community. And the fact that he can also be a Justice League villain, which I think is, that says a lot about a supervillain. I think, I like Brainiac and his whole deal.
Wasn't Brainiac the main villain of Injustice 2, the video game?
Yeah. Yep, he was the main guy. He's terrible to use, though.
What are your future plans for your YouTube channel?
Oh, man. I've been asking myself that a lot recently. So, like I said before, I'm going to be graduating. And so, but my life is kind of on limbo in terms of if I'm going to college or not, just because of what I want to be, which is a director, obviously. And so I think the next steps is very, it's a big gamble for me. And whether I'm going to be in the studio and the Crisis Studio, if you will. I got the Green Lantern video that'll come out. That's safe. And I think I can get one more out this summer before we enter the gray area of the future. Because I honestly don't know where I'm going to be in my life at the end of this year. I could be in college. I could be living in Florida. I don't know. But the day I settle down, I live by myself. I have a stable income. Obviously, I have some more time to mess around again. I think I have a lot more videos in mind that I want to make.
Do you plan to come back to your DC universe anytime soon?
Anytime soon? As of the moment, not really. I think the way I ended season 2 was safe enough to be like the conclusion for now. But I did tease Mr. Miracle at the end of it, and I left it very open-ended for a lot of the characters. Damian could become Nightwing. Nightwing could come back to life, but if it doesn't happen, then he's dead. You know what I mean?
He just stays dead.
He stays dead, and I set it up to be purposefully. I set it up to be open-ended in terms of whether it comes back or not.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on James Gunn's Superman film coming out in 2025?
I have a lot of faith in James. He doesn't disappoint with his Marvel movies. Suicide Squad you could argue about, but I liked it, and I think he understands the assignment. I think he knows how big Superman is to a lot of people, and I don't have a doubt in my mind that it'll be one to watch.
How do you feel about the current state of Lego DC sets that have been coming out recently?
I've been crying. Obviously the animated sets are, a godsend. I'm kind of disappointed there's no Robin. But then again, I thought there was going to be a lot more sets in this quote unquote wave. I didn't realize that it was just going to be the Skyline and then a Batmobile and then a Dark Knight figure for some reason because they're making Dark Knight sets 16 years later.
Yeah.
So I'm a little disappointed that they didn't go farther with it, but I think once they realize how well the sets could maybe do, at least, I don't know. It's a big gamble. I don't like the Batmobile too much. I think the making it blue was not the best idea. But hey, anything helps. The new figures obviously are good. I haven't gotten it myself, but I do want to get the Skyline soon.
I noticed that they're not really making any Justice League related sets. I think they're all just Batman now, primarily Batman.
They've been Batman sets for like 6 years.
I wonder why.
It's because the movies aren't doing well. If the movies aren't doing well, Lego won't make sets. and that's literally as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
They got to keep Batman's popularity going.
Batman has infinite popularity. He's him.
Yeah, he is him.
He's
Yeah.
him.
They couldn't have done Suicide Squad or Peacemaker because they R-rated,
Yeah.
which sucks in my opinion. So it would have been great to have Peacemaker or Suicide Squad sets.
You can't really explain why Black Adam didn't get sets at all. I think that would have been a cash grab for somebody.
Yeah.
People talk about Batman's no killing rule, but then you look at Zack Snyder's Batman during the dream sequence and Batman v Superman just actually killing people.
Snyder doesn't understand Batman. Never will.
Yeah, he does not. Because he forgot one of the most basic rules of Batman. He does not kill people.
Yeah, he just think he looks cool. And then he read Dark Knight Returns. That's all of it.
You want to add anything, CJ?
Yeah, actually. What's your favorite comic book / series, I guess?
I've been reading a lot of old stuff as of recent. I've been jumping into Jack Kirby's Mr. Miracle run. And that's just a blast to get into all of the Fourth World stuff. I think Kirby was just on something when he was writing those, and when he was drawing it. I think those are really worth a read if you want to just experience the new side to DC. But my favorite series right now to catch up on, it's got to be Mark Waid's World's Finest series. I think that'll be a staple in the DC Comics community for a long time, just because of how accessible it is. It's just. I think Gravity was talking to me about it because he was reading it, and it was one of these comics when they were fighting this Amazobot, and a bunch of the heroes just came in. He's like, "Oh, this is like a Crisis Studios comic." This is how I felt. And I was like, "Oh wow, that's fun, flattering, thank you." Which it does feel just like something that I would write. Those comics are just so warm. The stories aren't really that complicated, but they don't necessarily have to be. If you're having a good time, and it's teaching people about superheroes, like Metamorpho took the spotlight for a bit in that one arc, and if you don't understand what I'm mentioning, I'm very sorry. But if you are, that's cool. Yeah, that's my favorite series right now, is the World's Finest.
If there's anything you'd like to change about your Justice League series, like season 1 in terms of animation or anything, what would you change and why?
I would have just rewritten it to have more character work. Obviously I was 14 when I made the first few episodes, and I don't really think I understood the characters quite as much as just seeing them, and I just didn't understand how they talked and what they would say specifically. I just kind of gave you the basic layer of Batman or the Flash. But nowadays, I like doing these character dives. This Green Lantern video is really gonna be able to show me and show other the viewers just a more in-depth story. Being able to do all of this along with Sinestro's origin. It's really it's not all about a bunch of kicking and fighting, and then talking for a bit, and then back to kicking and fighting. So yeah, I think I would have rewritten it to have more character work and not be so basic.
Interesting. Who's your favorite Joker voice actor out of all the portrayals of Joker that have been in the media? Who is your favorite one of all time?
I mean, if you don't say Mark Hamill, you're probably stupid, right? I think Hamill's.
He did set the gold standard.
Yeah, obviously there's got to be someone to take it. So if once Hamill's out of the business, which I think he is,
yeah,
probably
I think
Troy
he
Baker.
Retired.
Troy Baker was really good, but I did like the Joker in the 2004 Batman show, where Joker kind of had longer hair and he was kind of more acrobatic.
I think he was played by Kevin Michael Richardson, I believe is what his name is.
He did a fantastic take. I really like that Joker. So yeah, either that or Troy Baker.
All right. CJ, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah. How would you feel about someone delving into making possibly Golden Age style brick films?
Golden Age style. You mean like just Batman with like his first appearance outfit and like Jay Garrick stuff?
Yeah.
Go for it. I like the more campy stuff nowadays. I was close to making a JSA brick film at one point, if I had the time, but that obviously got swept under the rug as I got more busy. Yeah, I'm all for Golden Age stuff. I think I like the more, just the goofiness of the earlier comics. I read some of the first Batman issues back in 39, and just like before he had Alfred, he had just like a family doctor that didn't know that he was Batman, and so he'd just pull up with like bullet wounds. He's like, "Where'd you get all these?" He's like, "I don't know." I just think that's kind of just funny. But obviously, don't get too silly with it because then it's just not Batman.
Then it'd be more like Silver Age.
Right. I think, Silver Age is like the S tier of comics for me. Just like International is really cool. And Blue Suit Batman reigns supreme. And, yeah. So, older stuff.
Right, I have another one as well. Oh, wait, does Harry have any questions?
No, my brain is completely fried from all the questions already asked.
All right, well, I have another one. So, how do you feel about Dick Grayson's time as Batman pre-New 52 when everyone thought that Bruce was dead?
I haven't read too much of that. I think the animated movie Bad Blood was really got me set on writing Dick becoming Batman. But I'll put it on the list. So I don't really have an opinion on it. I think it was necessary to have Dick become Batman at some point, just to make him realize that he's not meant to be Batman. That's what the whole Nightwing thing is that it's not. He doesn't want to be Batman. But him and Damian's dynamic is really fun.
All right. Thank you for coming on the show, Crisis. It was an honor to have you here.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I think recordings like these are always fun to do. I can never get one off the ground, though.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. I'll see you guys around.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Have a good one. All right, guys. That's all for today. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And have a marvelous day. Next up, we will be having Spiny Sky Studio for our next interview, so stay tuned. It's going to be a wild one.
Bye.
Bye.